That's how it rolls up in this piece. It's game time. I got some video to introduce this week's show. Jay Washington's going insane because he's like, how the hell did you figure that out?
I want to know who did it. And if they can reach out to either myself or Winston A. Marshall, asaptual. Like, we need somebody to do that for Blurred to the Hood. Like,
I paid for that one.
You might want to unmute. You might want to unmute Winston too.
Oh yeah, I think Winston muted himself. I can't hear him at all. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I didn't mute his mic, so
he probably muted his mic.
Yeah, Winston, figure it out, man. Figure it out.
Messing around with that soundboard stuff, you don't have a microphone, so that's your fault, ladies and gentlemen. Winston A. Marshall is there messing around with brand new equipment, and he decided to do it. I'm taking a screenshot of this picture of his face because. Oh, damn it. I needed that face picture when he was just sitting there like this.
There it is. That's right.
No, he can hear us the whole time.
He can't. We can't hear you.
He still can't talk.
We can't hear you, man. You got to figure it out, bro.
You can't hear me at all.
There it is. Boom.
Nope, we still can't hear you. Nope, I still
we got you now.
This is bullshit.
We got you now, man. You're good to go now.
All right. Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. I love it.
It's a good camera I got too, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure get a good ass picture of this. All right.
Welcome to this live episode of Game Time. I am so excited. Welcoming back to the show, the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Washington. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. All things considered, I'm not going crazy. I have my red cup again today, ladies and gentlemen. And this time, as I told John Roca, it is not filled with liquor. It is actually filled with me being healthy. It is with Good Belly Probiotics, which I highly recommend if you want to keep yourself in order. And I have myself a 1 liter bottle of alkaline water. I'm not playing no games in these streets.
Yeah, you're smart. You're smart. I got me a nice full-on cup of Coke. That's right. Suck it. That's right. That's how it rolls in my world. Winston Marshall, we can barely see. Hit and turn on the lights on. How are you, Winston? How's it going over there?
Oh, I'm good. I've been drunk for days. It's fine.
You've been drunk for days?
For days straight. It's fine.
You don't have any light in that house or nothing? Or you just trying to use natural light because it don't work right now like that?
No. I told him to turn that lamp on.
Oh yeah, you might want to clean your camera
during the show. Oh, he likes to figure out during the show, which I respect.
Yeah, because this. Let me get this picture here because he's frozen. There you go. He's frozen. He's frozen again. Jesus. All right, there you go. Okay,
this is part of the joy of the show, right. In my opinion. This is why you can't have these two. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you got better light there. I like it. Welcome everybody who's in here now. Chris Taylor, James Morrow, Wiley Todd, Joe McKim, Haskell 420, Suge Knight, the Prince that wasn't promised. Kirsty and Amy Benner, what's up? Still making your scrapbooks. So many people coming in live. I'm sure there'll be more people coming in as we tackle a bunch of stuff today for Game Time. Can't wait to get into it all. So thank you all so much for taking the time. Please remember to subscribe below and also follow these gentlemen there in their social media at Mr. J. Washington, at the Swaggy Blurred. Winston, I got to ask you this question. You were talking to us about coronavirus here before we got on the air. That's going to touch about everything we're going to talk about today. How are you dealing with everything? Are you seeing people congregating? Are you getting upset about it? What's going on there?
I have like mixed feelings about it in the sense that like I am finding ways to adapt life. So like I lost all 4 of my gigs. I've talked about that on various streams and whatnot. So I'm trying to find other ones right now.
Yeah, it seems like that's a tough situation. Especially when your camera freezes. Absolutely.
I mean,
all right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna log off real fast. Then I'm gonna log right back on. We'll see if that fixes it. All right.
Sounds good. I'll bring you back on then. In the meantime, Jay, let's get into the first topic. While he does that, I'm sure Winston will catch up to us once he gets back on this thing. Well, Tom Brady, it's official. Tom Brady is a Buccaneer. I know I had Taylor Bisciotti on last Thursday for about 30 minutes talking about it, but now this is officially, he signed the contract. It's for 2 years and a crap ton of money on this situation, but ESPN did a pretty in-depth article about what went on behind the scenes with Tom Brady and the Patriots. It was pretty interesting to read. And as I just see now, they just cut their kicker, Gostkowski. They released him after 14 seasons.
Wow.
That's just coming over the line right now. This was dropped about an hour ago, this news. He was cut by the Patriots. Clearly, the Patriots are making some cuts here as they see fit walking into this situation with Tom Brady. Post Tom Brady. But anyway, there was Seth Wickersham over at ESPN did a fantastic breakdown and article about what happened behind the scenes with Tom Brady. I was surprised to find out, and I want to hear what you guys think. I was surprised to find out that the source of this, of course, had been building for some time, but really comes back to 2017 when Bill Belichick, instead of trading Jimmy G, was offering the 49ers privately behind the scenes Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he was already – Jay, I got to jump to you first. He was already offering Tom Brady before a situation. Incredible.
Well, it's interesting to hear it now that everything comes out to light. But at the same time, when you hear in that same article what it was about, like Brady wanted a guarantee that the Patriots would let him play into his mid-40s. Right. Bill Belichick is like, yo, no. Belichick, I mean, no matter how many people they feel about Belichick knows when it's time to move on. Like, listen, I'm not going to have a quarterback in his mid-40s just to say I have Tom Brady. Right. Your legacy is cemented. We've gotten our rings. We've gotten our championships. To say, yes, I would give San Francisco Tom Brady and keep Jimmy G, it's doing the same thing he did when he had Drew Bledsoe going into having Tom Brady. So for anybody who thinks this is the Patriots acting irrational or unreasonable or not thinking that this is something that they should have done, it's a very wise decision. And now you're seeing as a whole, the Patriots are getting rid of that old guard. Getting rid of Gostkowski says a lot. And look for Julian Edelman probably to be next on the list. You know what I'm saying? Look for all that old guard that Tom Brady had during that regime, if you will, to start going and the Patriots to begin to rebuild. It's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Winston, you hear this? And of course, it led to apparently there was a blow up between Belichick and Brady as well when they were trying to negotiate a little more of this contract. I'm sure the blow up had to do with, hey, man, I'm cool with you trading everybody else before their time, but don't be trading me before my time. I brought you Super Bowls. Do you think this is just a matter of like Belichick's style? It's just like it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone is tradable at some point in his mind. Did this shock you at all?
No, it doesn't shock me. If anything, it shocked me that he held Brady in a higher regard than anybody else because Belichick has made it very clear that the Patriot way, that's the Belichick way. That's what that shit is. You either get on or you get out. And it was made very clear a couple years ago, like you said, like he did with Bledsoe. He was like, I already see that this person has kind of gone over the hill at this point, and I have somebody that is the heir apparent that's ready now. It was Kraft that stopped that. So it has been clear that he's been ready to get rid of Tom Brady for a while. It just finally got to the point where he actually did it.
Yeah, and I want to make it clear, the blow-up is from the ESPN article. The idea that the Belichick was trying to trade Brady, that's from Bleacher Report. There were sources to Bleacher Report. Want to make sure we source them correctly here. Don't want anybody coming after me with their anger online. And it was Kraft is the one, actually you mentioned Kraft, Winston. That's a great person to bring up here at this point. Kraft is the one who apparently shut that shit down fast, according to Lynch over there, the 49ers general manager, John Lynch. He said Kraft shut that shit down fast. So instead, Lynch gets Garoppolo, but Brady, Belichick, and Kraft haven't been the same since Tom learned that Bill was ready to get rid of him, and that lit a fire under his ass. Of course, Tom Brady did go on to win another Super Bowl and was, it was in contention. At least this year, he looked good, and they were going into the playoffs. And then, of course, they got bounced out by Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. And ironically, it was the Tennessee Titans who were looking at Tom Brady as well in the offseason. But shockingly, the Titans went with Tannehill over Brady in this situation. This is Tom
I don't
Brady
know why it's shocking though. I don't know why it's shocking though. And you have to realize, let's be honest. Brady is 42 years old.
Yes, he is.
All right. He's 42. Ryan Tannehill is in his early to mid 20s. Right. You have to look at the longevity you're going to get out of it. Because let's say if you're to the Titans and you got rid of Ryan Tannehill, no matter how much we joke about, you're the Titans and you get rid of Tannehill right now, who took you as far as he did, to get a Brady who is now about to be on his downward slope. Listen, it only makes sense to stay that way, because if you go ahead and get Brady and to get rid of Tannehill now after a year or two, now you got to figure out what you're going to do again, and you're back in the same situation. So I kind of can see why certain teams were just like, no. When it comes to the Bucs, however, listen, it's like, look, Jameis Winston is a 500 quarterback. at the end of the day. When he goes for yards, he goes for yards. But at the same time, his interception numbers are another thing. So the Bucs are like, well, we can't do any worse at this point. And if you can get Brady, all you got to do is give him a guarantee to play the 45. All right, cool. And we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
I mean, you also
look at this also.
I was just going to say, you also throw in the fact that, like, he can now – he's been in that division. He's owned that division, the AFC East, forever. So if you can give him a new challenge, you can guarantee he can play for the next 2 to 3 years. Like it said in that article, he's missed a reason to play, and he's missed having fun. As violent as a sport as football is, if you're not having fun, why would you still do it? That's why Andrew Luck was like, if the juice isn't worth the squeeze, I've made my money. I'm already going to be fine for the rest of my life. I'm out. So Brady wants to keep playing, but I do not blame him because that's all we really want. Because we've all had jobs in the industry before where it's like, we've made good money off of it and it was consistent, but we've been like, fuck everybody up in this place. You know what I'm saying? Like that you hate the environment that you're coming to. I think this is that situation where he was like, yo, if this is who I have to put up with my last few years and they're not even going to guarantee me that I can play, I'm out of here. And I don't blame him for it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I can't 100% disagree with Winston, but I'll leave it at that. Belichick and Brady earlier this month, according to Adam Schefter regarding keeping him on the team, but he was only offered a 1-year contract for less than he had made the previous season. Jay, you are a Chicago Bulls fan. You remember what Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf did to the Michael Jordan.
Can we not discuss the heartbreak? Can we go back to this pain?
I think it's correlative here because once again, this is a aging star on his way out the door, but still able to do what he can do. Why not respect him by giving him the money? I mean, how many times through the history of the Patriots did he take less money so they could get him more weapons or get more help on the defensive side of the ball? And here he is, on the tail end of his career, his twilight in his career. Hell, the Lakers paid Kobe to be a Husk for the last 2 years he was playing. So why not do that for Tom Brady? Doesn't make any sense.
I know it's a weird catch-22 where they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. Because for the past years, Brady's contract has only been 1 and 2 years.
Right.
His contracts have consistently been 1 year, 2 year, 1 year, 2 year. He's never had this extended period of contract. And of course, when it comes down to the last remaining years of your career, however many years it may be, if you're Tom Brady, you need guaranteed. You want guarantee. You don't need it because, again, you're already set for life. You want the guarantee you're going to continue playing the game. Like Winston said, he loves playing the game.
Right.
But you have this situation where it's like, again, like you just brought up, on the back end, it's about time you pay this man his just due. He's taken all these cuts. He's taken cuts for years to allow you all to keep building the team he needed. And so for the one time when it comes to time, it's like, hey, okay, can you all take care of me now? Yeah. And for Robert Kraft and Belichick them to be like, no, basically, because that's basically what they told him. No, we're not. Yeah. I don't care what you did with what you did. We're grateful for that. Thank you. But no, we're not paying you this money. It does speak to the environment of the Patriots organization. It speaks a lot to that. It says how they think of their players. Because, again, New England wouldn't be a dynasty without Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's a two-part deal. It's Brady and Belichick. And if there's no Brady, guaranteed they might have won a championship or two, but there's no dynasty.
I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree, only in the sense that as Belichick proved, and this was part of the thing that was kind of ridiculous, was the fact that Brady goes down because of a knee injury. Brady goes down because of whatever.
Oh, I know what you're saying. He put anybody in that place.
And then all of a sudden, almost every single quarterback that Belichick put in, they performed. True. And so I think that Matt Castle, even Briscoe did a good job a couple years ago when he had to go in for a couple games because Brady was suspended, Jimmy G. So, like, I think that's part of the problem. Unfortunately, that takes some leverage away. So the two things working against him is that you've plugged in other quarterbacks and things have been fine, and he's getting older. So I think it's one of those things that, like, do they win 6 and go to 9? Maybe not. But I think you plug somebody in like a Jimmy G, they maybe win 4 or 5, total, and go to like 7. That's still huge. I'm not trying to take anything away from Brady at all. Brady has proven that he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem. The Belichick way is what's more important. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for them. For them. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I can't wait till Christian tries to trade Dan Murrell to a lower movie trivia competition. I mean, we'll see what happens if that happens down the road. But you bring up a good point, Winston, and that is like,
sir, you will be involved in that trade somehow, some way.
Yeah, I will be. Where Dan goes, I go. You brought up a great point, Winston, while you're building that boom mic. In the years following his knee surgery, according to ESPN, in 2008, he had spent time in Los Angeles and then in Foxborough. I love it. And culminating in a disconnect, according to Yahoo Sports, and contract talks in 2010. Then during Deflategate, Brady felt like Kraft and Belichick had let him out. Remember that he was all on his own in that press conference. They weren't standing by him. They had their own separate press conferences, but they weren't standing with him.
They left that man hanging out the dry. Tom Brady was.
They did.
I was just playing the game.
He's like, I'm just playing a game. What about my balls? Like all this stuff. And then, of course, Tom Brady kind of pushed away. He pushed away, too, because he did the TB12 stuff with Alex Guerrero, and the Patriots really hated that he was trying to kind of create his own thing. Certainly, there was just some strong alpha dog ways going on here between Belichick, Kraft, and Brady. And eventually, Brady, who feels like they probably were successful because of him and Belichick, was like, I just feel like if he's gonna keep having a job, I need to keep having a job at a correlative rate. And in the end, they didn't really take care of him. And I wonder what this blow up was really all about. Did Tom just was then walking into in Major League going, I can't, thinking he got cut, like throwing the ball at the wall and yelling at the manager? Is that what this is? You think you can cheat me? I will do whatever. Now, and you look at the picture of Tom Brady, he looks reborn in that Instagram picture. He looks young. He looks fresh. He looks vibrant. And I wonder if this is on purpose to show everybody else that this guy is still got a few years left in him.
Let me tell you something. Okay, this is no disrespect to the city, but he's out of gloomy Boston. Yeah. Yes, Boston has its nice-looking days. It has that. But we know Boston for having rainy days, being like sometimes just dreary. We always see games in Foxborough, never look like it's sunlight there, really. Maybe 2 or 3 times. So now he has a place. Granted, he has to worry about hurricanes. Oh, well. I mean, you got to worry about those little things. But now, again, it's a new chapter in his life. Yeah. He has spent 20 years at one place. Why wouldn't he be excited now? Why wouldn't he feel reinvigorated? That's the same thing as expect Phillip Rivers to look like that in Indianapolis. I'll be honest with you. No matter how people may feel about it, Phillip Rivers will feel like a new man until all of a sudden reality might hit him. And the same thing may happen with Brady. But it's now you have a new chapter.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you there, and I think that's certainly a possibility. But Winston, this is not a Tampa Bay team without weapons. I mean, they've got some good receivers. Certainly, Mike Evans is a fantastic receiver. They've got a good running back. They got they have a strong defense, in my opinion, to great defense over there. And then you've got Bruce Arians, who's a way more laid back coach. And it sounds like Tom Brady is going to bring his system down there to adjust, and they're going to be malleable about it. Even I can't remember the receiver who said, Tom can have my number if he wants it. So certainly the carpet is being laid out for Tom Brady. Do you think this is actually the right situation for him? Because remember, Tampa Bay is not the Cleveland Browns. They may not have been winning recently, but they certainly have a Super Bowl win in the 2000s. And they've certainly won. There was during those Warren Sapp years, they were almost consistently in the playoffs or threatening to win divisions while they were there. So it's not like this is the Cleveland Browns. This is a good Tampa Bay team. Do you think this is sneakily a good decision by Tom to go here instead of the Chargers?
Oh, 1,000%. Because the Chargers in and of themselves, they're not bad. They have talent. They don't know who they are as an identity right now.
Right.
Like, the coach is pretty new. The city of Los Angeles still don't fuck with them. It's literally what they did. What they did. They had an ex from a really, 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 really long time ago. And they've been with their wife for, 20, 30 years. And then one day, all of a sudden, they saw their ex was looking good and was single again. And they were like, oh, I'm going to go up and do this. Except the problem was she was out here being like, I live a poly life now. I already got my man's over here, like husband number 1 in the Rams. And husband number 2 and 3 are technically the Lakers and the Dodgers. I barely give any love to the Clippers. So
I want to say this. First of all, I'm going to need you to stop repeating my life stories I've been telling you about the conversations and utilizing them as sports analogies. You ain't shit as a human being.
I'm just saying, like, you have these situations where essentially nobody asked for them to come up here, but because it's the sexy thing to do, it's the same thing that happened with Donald Sterling back when he moved them from San Diego to California. Is that the sexy thing to do is to be in LA? So they decided they're going to make a big stadium. We could split that deal with them, San Diego, and playing ball with us, whatever. You notice the only people that still rock the Chargers are people in San Diego, and they're still mad at them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
are mad at them. Yeah.
You come to the Chargers, the last thing Brady wants to do is like go to a team that nobody's really fucking with, that has its own kind of issues. They don't even have a home yet.
But they don't even. I'm gonna tell you something. I disagree. People would have I guarantee, let Tom Brady had gone to the Chargers, the LA Chargers would have been a thing. Because remember, for the longest, people have still been saying San Diego. Damn, I mean LA. They would have actually been the LA Chargers had Brady come here.
I mean, yeah, that would have been the start of them doing that. That would have been the start of them doing that, I think, for sure. But I think when you throw in the fact that, again, they don't have an identity yet, that Tampa Bay, like you said, you got Arians, you have weapons that can go off and do stuff. And people are also really pointing out the fact that the NFC is still kind of wide open, whereas the AFC, you have most of the super teams that are happening right now are over in the AFC. You're talking about the Ravens, you're talking about the Chiefs.
But listen, but Brady goes to it's not a very, very difficult, but he goes to a difficult division now. He's got the Ravens, who, if Matt Ryan can stay focused, that's a dope team over there with Atlanta. Then, not the Ravens, excuse me, the Falcons. I'm sorry, the Falcons. Then you have the Saints, and you also have the Panthers. So this isn't going to be a cakewalk going into this new transition, this new division.
That's for sure. But you look at what the Buccaneers bring to the table. Look, last year they had the 7th ranked offensive line in 2019. 7th ranked. That's how Winston was able to throw all those touchdowns, but also throw all those interceptions. They've got the 14th pick in the NFL draft coming up here. They want to add a defensive tackle. An offensive tackle to their line, which could even bolster more protection for Brady. You got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, both topped 1,000 receiving yards last year, with Godwin going for 1,333 yards and 9 touchdowns. Pretty incredible stuff. Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard, 2 fantastic tight ends. And, of course, they got Ronald Jones II in there as their running back. He rushed for 724 yards. And you got Peyton Barber in there as well. Another Barber down in Tampa Bay. So you've got so much going on here for Tampa Bay. They ranked 15th in total defense in 2019. I bet they would have ranked higher if Jameis hadn't thrown so many damn interceptions. So this is not a bad situation he's walked into. And I hear your point, Jay. You make a great point, actually. If Tom Brady gone to the Chargers, maybe the Chargers become a destination for some of these free agents. Certainly Melvin Gordon doesn't sign. We're going to with the Broncos.
I guarantee you, Melvin Gordon does not leave if Tom Brady comes to the Chargers.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, Melvin Gordon doesn't leave.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. And the reason why is because Melvin Gordon, as you just saw with Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley used to be the hot – hold on, let me finish because you're about to object, and I know you are. Todd Gurley used to be the hot shit, all right? Like, he was the man when it came to running backs. He was the best in the league, and now he can barely get a 1-year contract with the Falcons. I guarantee you that Melvin Gordon, knowing how short his career is, of course, who doesn't want to go play with Tom Brady? He's trying to get that money. Rightfully so. The same way that Tom Brady, not only does he want the security, he needs that money. I mean, he doesn't need it. Giselle make more money than him. It's not important.
True.
But what I'm saying is, think about all those price cuts you were talking about that he took. He took for the sake of the team and didn't get paid. And what's funny is I love how people used to compare Kobe and Brady about how, like, man, look at Kobe taking all the money from the Lakers when he's clearly not good no more, like whatever. No, that was doing something nice for someone that brought you alive. Whereas the Patriots are like, no, you can have $5 million, you can have $6 million. It's for the team.
Yeah.
Knowing the team was treating them like, if the team was treating me good, it's one thing. Team's treating me like shit, fuck you. Give me my money.
Right. Fair point. All right, let's jump into some super chats real quick here. Kevin Petrie sent us one for just $5. I guess he's just saying hi.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that madly. Let's see what we got. Will Watson stepping in. The Wheelman says, "What's up, boys? Sending love from the Wheelman." Thank you, Will. Appreciate that very much. And we've got Mayra M coming in. Let me see if I can bring that one back up. Or did I lose it? Did she take it down? No, there it is. She said, thoughts on the Olympics being postponed until next year. Also thoughts on them waiting until Australia, Canada, and others threatening IOC until they did. We're going to get to that later on in the show, Mara. So just hold on for that. We're definitely going to answer that question. But thank you so much for your super chat. Guys, please appreciate the super chats. But if you want to send in your questions, Streamlabs is the way to go. Super chats, I think 33% of that stuff. And so it's not 100% great for all of us involved in the production. So if you can send in Streamlabs, because I want to make sure I'm splitting this thing 3 ways with me, Jay, and Winston. That's how I encourage them to be on the show. And I love them being on the show. And that's how we're doing it. So
listen, y'all. Listen. Yep. Roka's telling y'all the truth, okay? Winston had lost 4 jobs. Roka had lost 6. And I'm just losing my mind. We all need the help right now. So please give to a needy child in Africa. And by Africa, I mean sitting in the house in Los Angeles.
Stupid, bro.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you guys want to send them in, it's easier to send them, or it's better for us to send them through Streamlabs. I've got it up now. So anything you want to send through, we'll answer for you. And shout out to Randy Constance and the Modern Black Man who subscribed to my channel today. So apparently I'm reaching out to a lot of people of multiple colors. So respect to me, I guess. All right, let's see.
I got nothing.
There's nothing you can say. the Fintan clan. All right. You think Joseph Ashley wants to know, do you think we'll find out the 2 players on the Lakers that got the coronavirus? Certainly LeBron did a whole hour-long chat with everybody on, or 45-minute chat with everybody online, but didn't mention who got diagnosed and didn't mention if he was diagnosed with it at all. Do you think we'll ever find out? Because we know Kevin Durant, we know Marcus Smart. Do we think we'll know which one of the Lakers got diagnosed?
If it ain't a star of the team, no.
Okay.
If it ain't a star of the team, we won't know. I don't think if it's just a regular player, something like, look, if Alex Cavuto gets it, I think we'll hear it. You know what I'm saying? Capello gets it. If he gets it, we're gonna be like, oh my God, not the new white Mamba. Like, we gonna lose our mind. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Kyle Kuzma has it, you'd be like, well, you better tough this shit out. Like, that's literally how we feel about it. Like, literally, that's why if you notice this, the athletes and the celebrities we hear, unfortunately, I hate to say it this way, are names. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kevin Durant is a name. We're all hoping that the coronavirus helps Kevin Durant's naps go away.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart, like, he's a great player on the Celtics. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell are the damn Utah Jazz that they focus on. So listen to the people we're hearing about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've told us legitimately that more players on the Jazz have the coronavirus. They have said it. Yes. And they have not said a single name outside of those 2. So it depends on, like, look, go through the LA Lakers roster. If LeBron ain't say he got it, if AD ain't said he got it, and if Dwight Howard ain't say he got it, then the 3 y'all should be okay about. Like, everybody else is like, this nigga can catch it. Like, that's how everybody is treated. It's funny, but it's a true thing. They are treated like, if you're not a high-profile name, we do not care that you have it. You better tough this shit out for 2 weeks.
I think that's probably true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You done? Are you done?
Are you done?
Do you have anything to add? I'm not done. I'm done.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. it's very funny to me. You just kind of went on a whole diatribe. And when they say it's like 2 Lakers, it's probably like, the dude that does the voice for the Staples Center, and like, and like one of the Laker girls, like that's why they shut it down. That's.
Thank God Natasha's not there anymore. That's for sure. Streamlabs here. We got a bunch of Streamlabs, or a couple just came through. First one is from Jake Yakavetta. He says, surprised that Roka hasn't called this show John and the Brothers, waiting for live from Black Atlanta. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, Jake. And there goes Jay. And then Stephen Fogel says, it's funny that Jay and my man Win are acting like they aren't in the same house right now. Hey, guys, how does the NFL prepare?
We're actually not.
No. no way they're in the same house right now, or else Jay would be walking over going, man, fix that light. Yeah, no, they're not in the same house.
That's why I'm sitting right here. So where it's blown out at behind me, you really can't see it till I move, because I know how light I was. Like, you know, how dark I was. So I needed the light on me. Like, we have this problem every week. We try to set up a blurred and gold, because like Winston's light skinned, so it's like he doesn't need too much light. But then you got my black ass, and it's like we got to pump it up at a certain point. Like, it's just so confusing.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
All right, let me bring one gentleman here who's been waiting to talk to us real quick, and we'll jump into our next section of the show. And that is, let me take this down. Hold on a second. Is that Hyde? There we go. Suge Knight, what's up, dude? How are you, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, how you guys doing today? Hi, Winston. What's up, Big J? Morning, Roka. How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having enjoying your quarantine right now.
I just know I still look good with my workouts at home. I just want to see myself.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Apparently, you know, Instacart's like we're hiring another 100,000 people, and then when I was like, oh shit, let me see if they took me off the wait list. Why am I still on the motherfucking wait list?
Thanks, nigga. Gotta wait now.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Winston. So,
what's your question?
No, I just was wanted to talk about the NBA season. What are we going to do about this season? And are they just going to go straight to the playoffs once this coronavirus ends? Or what exactly are they going to do? They're going to play out the rest of the season? Are we going to get the finals in September, October? And then I wanted to talk about my Steelers because, you know, I'm a Steelers fan. And our move. Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah,
you don't get 3 questions. You get. I'll let you have 2 because you're coming in. You're always showing up with these things. So the first one, the NBA thing. What do you guys think is going to happen? Because right now they're pushing into June at this point. If they don't cancel the rest of the season and just go into the playoffs.
If they go, I think the problem is they may go straight into the playoffs because it is after the All-Star break. It's a whole different ball game now because everybody plays after the All-Star break. Granted, it's only been like a month or so. It was almost not even a full month of play, but it was after the All-Star break. So it was like, yo, this is where they stand at. And realistically, the teams that are in the playoff contention right now are the teams that pretty much would have stayed in playoff contention all the way through. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just go and if you're going to just go into, you just have to go, because the problem is no matter when they start, if they hurry up with the playoffs in June, by the time they get done in August almost, or unless they just fast track it to August, they only get a month break before it's time for the regular season to start again in October.
Yeah. So do you think they should start the season later for the 2020-2021?
No, because in November. It'll push everything back.
You can. The way you treat it is you treat it the way when they had the last strike lockout. You start the season in December. So you do give them the break that they need. You cut the season in half. You unfortunately are having 2 truncated seasons back to back, but you literally start the season around Christmas Day like they did that year. It's been about a decade now. Yeah. So you go back to start there and then just play forward. And I think that's how you kind of auto-correct what's going on, essentially.
Wow.
And you're going to have players that are going to cry regardless.
Yeah, right. Yeah, certainly. They're not going to be upset either way, but that's kind of the game. That's how it goes at this point. I mean, who saw this coming, a pandemic? So players have to be a little bit understanding as well. The NBA is going to do what's best for itself to stay alive. And we're going to get to that story in just a second.
Or John, we just put them all in hazmat suits and let them go out 5-on-5 on the court in hazmat suits with just lower time, like 6-minute quarters. Like, look, we understand y'all playing in full rubber suits, but you better score what you got to score in 24 minutes instead of 48.
Right on. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens because, I mean, right now we're going to talk about, like I said, the owners might be pushing this force majeure contract situation from the CBA and not pay them. And shout out to Suge Knight's significant other walking past the camera. Respect on that one. Suge, what's your second question?
That's okay. I'll call in next time for the second. I just wanted to talk about my Steelers and the moves they made, but it's fine. And now she goes in the bathroom. Thank God she closed the door this time. Last time she did it. Everyone saw her pissed. So.
No.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But thank you for having me, Roka. Winston, Jay, always nice to see you guys. Appreciate it. Make sure to support you guys on your Patreons and your channels and the Blur and all that stuff. So have a good day.
Head on over. Appreciate it, Chuck.
No problem.
You're the best, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, that's Suge Knight. I love that guy. He's so fantastic to us and so good to the show itself. Guys, this is just coming over the pike. Let me see if I can get this brought up for you guys. The Rams released their new logo.
I just saw it on Twitter.
It's terrible.
It's trash.
There it is right there. That's the new LA Rams logo. And then this one. Which I couldn't get the full one of that one. So that's the Rams there.
I don't
look at these. I don't know if I like any of these, to be honest with
you. The second one, I understand. The second one I can see, but the first one is like, y'all just on bullshit.
I like the Ram. The Ram itself, I don't hate. What I hate is that LA, that shit looks like trash.
This one right there. That's the one you hate right there.
That is trash.
You know who made that? You know what happened? It was 12 millennials in a boardroom.
No. That was somebody on Fiverr. They were like, yo, the Los Angeles Rams are back. We need somebody to make a logo. I'll throw $5 at this motherfucker real quick.
Yes! Also, this is dropping. You know, when I started this show, you know what they said? They said there's no sports news. Literally sports news dropping as we're doing this show right now. The Washington Redskins have traded with the Carolina Panthers for quarterback Kyle Allen in exchange for a 5th round pick. So I don't understand what's happening here because the Redskins said they were not interested in Cam Newton, which drives me insane, which tells you Ron Rivera did not want to do anything with Cam Newton, and they're not interested in Jameis Winston either, and we'll get to that story a little bit too. So now they've got Kyle Allen coming in to back up another quarterback possibly and like trying to take the job from him. So this is such a weird decision. Kyle Allen, who played well in initially, but then had a lot of turnover issues in the last few games that made people feel like he definitely wasn't going to be the starter, which is why Bridgewater is there. Is this a great move by the Redskins? Does this make any sense at all?
Well, it shows that Kyle Allen wasn't as secure with Carolina as everybody thought.
That's for sure.
Clearly they believe way more Jameis Winston. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think there? Does it do anything for the Redskins at all? I mean, yes, I know people like white quarterbacks.
Yes, it does do something. It does do something. It makes perfect sense. Okay, y'all decided you like being the worst in the division, so you just solidified that shit yet again. That's what it does.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when the season actually starts, please be prepared for several episodes, 17 of them at least, of John Rocha starting out the show going, "What the fuck is wrong with the Redskins?"
Oh yeah, no, that's going to be a separate show when me and Mark Ellis do it, and we just go, "What is wrong? What the f is wrong with the Redskins?" Absolutely.
When Ellis with nothing but Coors Light in his hand, just constantly drinking them, like, I don't think they can.
Yo, they just don't want to. They don't want to make. They did not want to make the moves to become Chocolate City yet again. You know what I'm saying? So they decided we're gonna get Kyle as probably the starter, which means that Haskins is probably gonna sit his ass on the bench for a while.
Yeah,
he's gonna get traded. Might even get shipped. Why you get shipped?
Might even get shipped away.
Yeah,
and y'all gonna go from Chocolate City to White Chocolate City, and I just
that's true.
Yeah.
I would have said Pleasantville.
Pleasantville's good.
Stepford.
Little House on the Prairie.
By the way, we're going to call our show, Mark Ellis and our show about the Redskins, we're going to call it Burgundy and Gold. That's what we're going to call it from there. So, all right, let's move on to our next story. Where is it? All right, that's right. Real quick. So Brian Hoyer also signed by the Patriots as a backup quarterback for the Patriots. I think it was $1.05 million. He's already making $2 million from the Colts, who released him on Saturday. So he's going to make $2 million in guaranteed total between both of those teams.
Who?
Brian Hoyer. And
Brian Hoyer.
He is coming back for his third stint with the Patriots. He's going to be behind Jarrett Stidham and Cody Kessler. I don't understand. Kaepernick can't get – never mind. It makes no sense.
Colin Kaepernick can't get looked at, but Brian Hoyer keeps a job. Do y'all understand? If anybody constantly wants to bring up, but Kaepernick was on the downslope when he was on his way out, look at Brian Hoyer's record and tell me if it's any better. Because Brian Hoyer's is actually worse, and yet Brian Hoyer keeps a job.
Millions.
Who does he have pitches on in a compromising position that he can keep getting work like this? He has to have some pitcher with Roger Goodell having something in his mouth he should not have.
Whoa!
I don't know what. Whoa. That is the only way I can justify Brian. That's the only way I can justify Brian Hoyer still having a job.
No, I'm just going to take it fully off the rails here. Brian Hoyer must have like a 15-inch dick. That's some big dick energy.
Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. You guys trying to cancel my show on the second week. I appreciate it. I respect it.
Big just grab it out like, trade me.
Damn. Hate me.
Real talk. The only thing that I can think of, he might be one of those people that, like, sure, you're not going to bet on him to be your franchise quarterback. You're not going to bet on him to be your starter, but he learns systems fast, probably. He's probably really easy to work with, and it's a situation like we can make him work for a minute, and it is what it is. Because he didn't get paid a shit ton, but he did get paid more money than he probably should have. Yeah. But in the same way that if you notice, when the Cowboys were in trouble before Romo retired, we brought John Kitna out of retirement for our last week game so Romo could get one more week to get healthy. And we brought him out. This motherfucker was an assistant coach for a local high school football team at this point and a science teacher. We're like, bro, go run some laps. We need you, man. So, like,
go get your cardio up real fucking fast.
The funny thing is, Kitna won the game. So if Brian Hoyer can come in real quick and win a game if he has to, but get paid, young. Way to go, young blood. Way to go. Did
you hit him with the Cowboys got a
job? Craziness. It's really craziness. Guys, got over 100 y'all in here. Please give us some likes on there. We got 85 likes. Want to get it over 100 if you don't mind. Let's get into a couple more things here. Streamlab that came over here from King 93. Here is to hoping y'all get better cam setup so it's not so blurry. They say black don't crack, but damn is brown and black extremely blurry. I don't know what that means, but all right. Thank you for the donation.
My camera looks good on my end. I don't know what you are talking about. Also, I am using a 2.7K HD camera, okay? I have a good camera. I have good lighting. It is Winston shit that look like he been sweating on the face. So if you can politely go, you know what I mean?
But you notice how you said you had 2.7 and not 4K? Because nobody wants to see your ugly ass in 4K. That's why.
Winston been trying to use FaceTime with his laptop to his face and his jaw. That's all oil on the camera. So Winston, you can politely go fuck yourself.
There it is. Stephen Thayer sent in a super chat. He says, do y'all think Raiders won their free agency? Stay safe, very kindly at the end. If you look at the Raiders, they picked up their linebacker. They picked up linebacker Corey Littleton, linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski, who used to be with the Chicago Bears, Malik Collins, who spent some time. He's just 24 years old. Played for the played as a former Dallas Cowboy, rather. Carl Nassib, they picked up him right on as an edge rusher. Jeff Heath as a safety. Eli Apple, a cornerback for them. Jason Witten, former Cowboy, slided in there as a tight end, and Marcus Mariota. So I would say overall, I think they did a really nice job, quietly good job in free agency, filling in some holes, but we'll see what it leads to in terms of wins.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to restack their defense. That's a definite thing they're trying to do. I mean, that losing Khalil Mack, it's amazing how one person hurts you that much. And they are trying to restack this as best as they can. They grabbed some solid players, some solid defensive players. Now it's all on. Look, it's on Gruden to make this happen. They gave that man 10 years. What was it? How much million? $100 million or something like that, or whatever they gave him. Gruden has to make some things legitimately happen. We can't look at the almost. If you're a Raiders fan, you got to be tired of the almost and get over the hump.
Right. That's fair. What do you think there, Winston?
I think that the Raiders are not going to do much. I think it's the same issue that you're seeing with like the Chargers. They don't have an identity. They decided to move cities to a town that sort of wants them, but you pissed off your actual fan base in Oakland, who are diehard fans. On top of the fact that you do have some talented pieces, but you decided to trade away your stars a couple years back, and they're completely in rebuild mode. I don't think Derek Carr is really ever going to take him to the promised land. He's not that dude that does that. And bringing in Witten, I love Witten. I wish Witten had retired as a Cowboy, but let's be honest. Witten had 10 good catches all season last season.
Right.
He was brought in as a security blanket, but he does not have the speed anymore. He does not have any of that stuff to put him above and beyond. So I just do not see the Raiders doing much. So did they win it in that they got some cool names? If this shit was like 5 years ago, that's a fucking star-studded team.
Yeah, true.
It's 2020. I'm concerned that Witten might catch corona and then he's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like so.
Yeah, fair enough. PJ sent in $1. I guess his message was retracted. I don't know what he had to say. But apparently my camera's a little blurry. As I look on YouTube, I do look a little blurry, but on StreamYard, I'm completely fine. So I don't know how to correct that situation. And honestly, we're 45 minutes into the show, and I'm not going to do it now. So we're going to roll through this whole thing. What'd you write down there, Jay? What is it? Is it he said, I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say that. You say it.
This Nga.
Yeah.
This
Nga.
N asterisk G-A. I don't know what that means. All right. I'm just
good. I'm glad you don't.
Respect to, thank you so much for sending that stuff in. Let's move on to another person here. Ferris Mathuna, who's waiting in the chat. Ferris, what do you got for us, man? What's going on?
How you guys doing? How's everybody?
What up, Playboy?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. Yeah. So my question is, because like we have the NFL draft coming up in April, and I was just saying, like, have you guys been following it? Or like any of the people who like run the NFL draft, like, you know, like Matt Miller, or Daniel Jeremiah, and see which players that our teams or any team could get. Because like I'm pretty sure, John, me and your team are picking in the top 5. Winston's team is picking in the teens. So who do you think we would like go for? Because like you're a Redskins fan, I'm a Giants fan, Winston's an Eagles fan. Not Eagles fan, Cowboys fan, Cowboys fan. Sorry. My bad. My bad.
You did it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends. So
we are friends.
Fuck is this?
Winston, I can say without a doubt, there's one thing Cowboys, Giants fans, and Redskins fans agree on. Fuck the Eagles.
I mean, yes.
Yes. Okay.
So yes.
I can't say that. I was born in Philly. I'm not saying anything against the Eagles.
But
God damn it, how many places were you born? Jerusalem, Atlanta, Mexico City, London, Constantinople, at the Big Bang, my nigga. Like, god damn.
What the hell?
Listen here, bitches. I'm a time lord, so I've been born in many places. Let me just tell you that.
You're Doctor
That's
Who,
right.
John? Is that who you are?
That's right.
You just reincarnate. You reincarnate every other 10 years.
I'm not Doctor. I'm Doctor the Man. That's what I am. Let's put this down and go. I think the Redskins take Chase Young, especially now since move with Kyle Allen. There's no way they don't take Chase Young at this point. Now, Kyle Allen and Haskins, it seems like they're doubling down on that. So I think we're fine at quarterback now in their minds. Maybe something later on in the round, something drops to them. I think Chase Young. What do you got, Winston?
As which part in particular? I'm so sorry.
Who do you think the Cowboys are going to take? Who do you think are you looking at anybody? Have you been looking at that?
I haven't been paying enough attention in the draft to be honest with you, and part of that has to be with now is around the time where I start paying attention. Right. Like because I don't really watch college football. I went to a D3 school, so it's just not a big thing for me. I think based off of how things are playing out, I think. Since we re-signed Coop and Gallup, honestly, is, in my opinion, the bigger star. But I think the two of them are enough of a tandem. Unless there's some crazy slot receiver where we haven't heard of, I think that you're going to go on the defense. You're probably going to look at a back somewhere, and you go from there. Because, honestly, I think losing Byron Jones was the biggest mistake we've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe that was the biggest mistake we've made in a few years. Is because
he's your best player.
Yeah,
on the defense he was for sure.
That's facts. Because like he's literally like I don't compliment Cowboys that often.
Right. Neither do I.
So it's just gonna hurt me. Byron Jones is without a doubt the most underrated player corner in the entire league. No one talks about him. No one says anything about him. And it's funny because ESPN talks about the Cowboys even when they suck. So they always talk about them. So, but no one talks about Byron because he plays corner. He doesn't talk, and that's it. Like, let's talk about the you know what I mean. So, like, I'm pretty like it's either him or Zeke Elliott as your guys' overall best player.
Wow, strong statement.
Yeah.
Well, who are you going to take, Ferris? Who do you guys think you guys are going to take?
So with me, I was actually aiming for Isaiah Simmons. We were like, we're gonna get Isaiah Simmons, but then I realized, oh yeah, David Gellman's a fucking idiot. So let me pivot and say because he already signed two linebackers in the draft. He rated the Packers linebacking core. I like those players, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go tackle because we suck at tackle. We really do. We wasted our money on that Nate Solder. He had like 2 good years in New England. They're like, we'll give him $50 million for 2 good years, and then he sucks. We drafted Eric Flowers. Every day I smack my head with a pan because of that, and we ended up getting rid of him. So we're either gonna get Jarek Wills, Mekhi Becton. It's one of them.
Okay.
And the problem is the draft. The tackle draft is good, but the best linebacker is better than both tackles. That's the problem.
All right.
That's the problem.
I hear you, Jay. Who you got for your Bears? Who you seen them taking? Do they have a first round pick?
No.
Have they traded stuff away?
Their first round pick they would have had has gone to the Raiders for Khalil Mack back in 2018.
Right.
The Bears' first pick isn't until number 43.
Wow. All right.
They could do what they did last year when their pick came up. They tweeted out, with our pick, we drafted Khalil Mack, which was nice.
Don't be surprised if Tua falls to you at 43. That guy's got injury issues. I'm just saying. I don't see that guy staying around.
We went and got Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got Nick Foles.
I don't really want to, it's just hurt. It's just
it's all right, man. You could have gone and gotten Brian Hoyer on the cheap. That was your fault. You fucked up on that.
You could have traded for Kyle Allen.
You could have gotten PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ Walker.
I want to say to the entire NFC division, to the NFC East division, and to all of you all who represent it.
Okay,
suck my penis.
Whoa!
Okay.
All right, there it is. Very
y'all leave us alone.
Y'all
leave us alone. We are hurting. It is very trying time.
Haven't been good since '85.
So the shots. They went to the Super Bowl, for God's sakes.
And they shit the bed. You don't ever talk about nobody else's quarterback when you let Rex Grossman lead you to the Super Bowl. And the one to Peyton Manning.
Former Redskin.
Your best player was your punt returner.
That's a goddamn shame, and he's right.
I remember that guy. That's right. All right, Ferris, thanks for the call, brother. Always good to talk to you, my man.
Thank you, Ferris. You got him out of here, too. Thank you for that.
Storm right on out of the ring. Jay Washington. Get back in here, Jay. We're doing a show. Jay Dog, I'll get you in just a second, brother, man. Let me jump into the Streamlab here. Another one came in from LT King 93. He said, in all honesty, love you all. But on a serious note, can you guys imagine what it's going to be like once this corona is in control? Once we get it in control, I guess is what he's saying. Possibly looking at NFL, MLB, NBA, MLS, hell, even NASCAR, unless I'm wrong. That's a lot of the same programming. Much love. Yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen? I mean, all the sports program is going to be going on, overlapping each other, certainly affecting the ratings, kind of like what's going on now in the Sphere, where everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody's trying to put their Patreons together. It's almost like the same kind of thing, don't you think?
Well, you have to think about this. In the month of October, everything overlaps.
Yeah.
All of the 4 major ones overlap anyway in October. So we're used to having football, basketball, baseball, and hockey all at the same time in October. So that's the thing. I'm not sure NASCAR would start running later. Soccer is always a year-round thing, no matter what. True. I think by time it'll seem weird because everything just starts up, but we have a point where everything runs simultaneously.
Right.
So it's just going to be like that for a minute.
All right. What do you think there, Jay? Winston, same thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think that he pretty much kind of hit the nail on the head there. Okay. I think that's the one thing you kind of have to stage through. But October is in large, by and away, considered the most exciting time of the year for sports fans because college football is back, NFL is back, NBA is back, NHL is back, middle of the World Series. It is considered to people to be the most exciting time. So we're used to it. It's just it's going to be a different circumstance because it will last longer than a month.
Right. Absolutely. Good point. Well, there you go. All right. Let's jump into our next thing. And that is this signing. Melvin Gordon signed with the Broncos while Todd Gurley signed with the Falcons. Because we got a little bit of time here. I want to ask you guys, which one is the best signing? Is the better signing for, and which person's in the better situation?
It's hard because I looked at both players' last year's stats.
Yeah,
this is just their last year. Gurley had 223 rushes for 857 yards, averaged 3.8 a carry with 12 TDs. Gordon had 162 rushes with 612 yards, averaged 3.8 a carry with 8 TDs.
Yeah. No, Gordon. You take Gordon, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Okay.
Todd Gurley played the entire year. Melvin Gordon missed half the season.
That's fair.
That is a half-season stat versus a full-season stat. That's not even.
You're right.
And so, no, that's that one. And especially because the other thing that ends up happening when everybody comes back week one, everybody's trash. So those are that first week one, somebody throws for 600 yards, somebody rushes for 250, like something like that, because nobody's used to the game again, right?
Right. Especially now with this coronavirus thing. Yeah.
Especially with that. Now Melvin Gordon, he comes in at like week 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. Everybody is fully rolling at this point, and he has to shake the rust off. So, I honestly believe that he has more in the tank than Todd Gurley does until he can prove to me that his knees are, more arthritic than all of John Roca's body. I 1,000% give it to Melvin Gordon.
You're not wrong. I took a walk for an hour yesterday. My ankle hurts today, like bad. Gordon had 30. Gordon had 35 touchdowns.
Oh my!
Over the past 3 seasons, which puts him at 5th in the NFL over that span. He also had 3,864 yards from scrimmage, and also he's not coming off an injury like Gurley is. This phantom knee injury of his, there isn't that kind of negativity. Now you put him though with the Broncos. I think this is a great setup. I mean, Drew Lock went 4-1 to end the season as the Broncos quarterback. He could be the answer there, and you pair him with Philip Lindsay. That's a 1-2 punch. That's like thunder and lightning from way back in the 90s or 2000s when they were doing that with the Giants. That is thunder and lightning right there, both those guys. Whereas Todd Gurley going to the Falcons, I think Matt Ryan's like, really? This is what I'm got to hand the ball off? I saw someone in the chat saying he thinks Matt Ryan is going to find a way to force himself out of Atlanta in the next couple of weeks. I'm like, my God, could that even happen? So could you imagine Matt Ryan in New England? Holy Mary, Mother of God. That would
terrify me. That would terrify me.
You're not missing a beat with Matt Ryan sliding into that spot.
Nope.
I think Matt Ryan is here's the thing. You don't have Julio Jones, Matt Ryan is trash. Ooh. Let's be honest. Go look.
So you don't think Julian Edelman can be an acceptable replacement?
Hell no.
Also,
Julio Jones and Julian Edelman.
Listen what I'm saying, though. We're talking about a New England Patriots system who has made receivers we've never heard of. And yeah, I know some people will say, well, Tom Brady was there. Matty Ice kind of has the same arm.
But again, go look at Julio Jones's numbers compared to every other receiver on that team. Do you know how many times Julio Jones had 200-yard games and like 25 catches because Matt Ryan doesn't know how to do shit but throw it in the area, and Julio's like, nigga, I'm Julio Jones.
Give me this. Julio was just like, oh, excuse me for a minute, I got to catch this.
Do you remember how bad the Falcons were when Julio went out? He did that one commercial for Visa, and they were doing the Julio, that whole shit, and then he was out, and then the Falcons were trash. Yeah. And then look at the Super Bowl that they blew against the Patriots, where the only thing that worked going forward was throwing to Julio, and that's it. And then at a certain point, they put 3 people on him, and what they going to do? Nothing.
Right. It's a fair point. We'll see. I mean, I like Matt Ryan as a quarterback. I do. And you might have a good point that without Julio Jones, he's not as strong. But, I mean, I'd like to find out. And certainly in an offense like Bill, like you just said earlier, though, Winston, he was able to make Matt Castle look good. He's able to make all these guys look good who stood in for Tom Brady. So he could probably do the same thing for Matt Ryan if he was to slide into there. If there's some way he could force his way in there. Real quick, super chat here from Chris Miner. Look at that sweet picture with Donald Duck. He says, my biggest sports what-if question. What if Zaza didn't injure Kawhi and didn't ruin my Spurs? What would have happened? Would he still have left? Would Kawhi have left if Zaza hadn't stepped under Kawhi and hurt his ankle or stepped on his ankle and did what he did to Kawhi? Would he have left the Spurs? Good question. I think the issue was bubbling under the surface between him and Popovich already. And I think it was just waiting for that outlet. And when that injury happened, that outlet appeared for Kawhi, and he took advantage of it, forced the situation. Popovich didn't like the way it went down, and Kawhi was gone. So at some point, something was going to happen to force that thing to come to a head. What do you guys think?
I definitely think he would have left. I think that this is a situation. This is a Brady Belichick, situation where when you're that good of a coach, you do have to have something in place that it's my way or the highway type stuff. It doesn't mean you don't work with your players, but it is what it is. And if you notice, Popovich makes it very clear. It's not that he doesn't like superstars, but he's like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want with it without your ass. Like, I don't care. And I think that was made very clear that organization is Pop's organization. So he would have left regardless, because I don't think Kawhi was really fucking with it. I think he was doing what he had to do to get better at the game, to make a name for himself. Yeah. And that shit was bubbling over. But this is way more of a players' league than the NFL is. So when he decided he wanted to be out, he got out. And good for him. Like, now he's out here running things in LA. So
respect. What do you think, Jay?
I agree. Popovich is like, yo, I don't care about superstars. Look at how he put a leash on Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. They were superstars in their own right and still knew this is a team no matter what. Yeah. Kawhi has seen his peers around him in his same group that came in pretty much a couple classes before and whatnot, and have seen that if you're a superstar, you can make moves, you can make things happen. As much as we joke about Kawhi being quiet and not saying much, his uncle is his manager and was like, yo, this boy is a star. Treat him as such. He went to Toronto, and guess what? Everybody on Toronto was like, Kawhi, this is your team.
Yeah,
real quick. True. Even Kyle Lowry was like, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? Because after DeMar DeRozan left, it was just Kyle Lowry. So he was like, this is yours. He gave it to him. And now you get Kawhi over at the Clippers. They're like, it's still yours. You know what I'm saying? So Popovich did what he did. And he would have left regardless. Like you said, I think it was just an out. The whole Zaza thing was an out.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, what's his face on the Raptors? He just said the same thing to LeBron. This team is yours whenever they played them in the playoffs. So, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal.
You are so petty, sir. My God. Have you been hanging out with black women recently?
What? No, what? I don't know what that means. All right. Anyway,
black women teach you how to be petty with no care.
Because I don't think that has anything to do with race. There are petty people all over the place. Kylo Ken, he donated some Streamlabs. He says, guys, what do you think is going to happen to Cam? And this is going to lead into our next section of the show. After Carolina's new ownership has completely effed him over in Carolina, the fans are pretty upset with the way Cam's been treated. Sorry if you've already covered this. No need to apologize. Kylo, give us a couple of minutes, and we're going to get into it. First, I want to get J-Dog up in here because he's been waiting. Jay, what's going on, man? What do you got, brother, man?
Hey, guys. Okay, let's see. Another baseball in the mail today. The 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Kansas City. That was the Melky Cabrera before he got popped for PEDs game. So missed out on that Giants championship. By the way, I saw him in Cleveland. I was at Jim Thome weekend in 2018 in Cleveland, and he hit a grand slam. I had never seen a grand slam hit at a Major League Baseball game before. So all was forgiven for the Milkman in 2018. But
what's your question?
There are some rumors that the WWE main event for WrestleMania has already been taped. The question is, what is the main event? Is it Goldberg, Roman Reigns? Is it Randy Orton, Edge? Is it what's the main event?
They're taping the whole thing this week.
What?
Yeah,
they're taping the whole WrestleMania.
The main event got taped Saturday night.
Yeah, the WrestleMania is being taped because they're not going to do. What's going to happen is they're taping month's worth of programming this next week. So the guys and girls are working 8 to 12 hours taping matches nonstop to fill in the program and fill in the slots for the next foreseeable couple of months. WrestleMania is a part of that being taped already. So that has already happened. Yes. So when we see it on April 5th, it is going to introduce us and let us know this is not live because they're going to address what it is. We did not do this live because of the coronavirus. We did not have a live crowd, blah, blah, blah. But we still wanted to put on the grand spectacle of them all for you.
You know what would make me so happy is if they tape that whole thing and then they do like an old school YouTube like 2000s video where they just cut to random fans from like old wrestling fucking bits and shit and just input the way that they took the World Cup a few years back when Brazil got asses whooped by Germany and someone took all the old JR and Lawler they'd be like, do you feel it? I feel it. Do you smell it? I smell it. Here we go. And then they're like, someone stop the goddamn match. Like, just how ridiculous that went. I hope they do that for these. They'll be like, Stone Cold. It's like Stone Cold's not even there. It's not like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. You didn't know that, John. You didn't know that, John, that they're taping WrestleMania. They're taping it this week.
No,
but it's because
two-night event. Two-night event.
They're taping two. They're taping two. No, it makes sense. See, here's the thing. People have been giving Vince McMahon the shit for the longest because they are still doing live shows. Everybody been giving them shit for the longest. And now you have a lot more of the wrestlers who are beginning to publicly speak out about not really feeling comfortable having to work because of the situation. So when the pressure finally starts to build, Vince is like, well, God damn it, we'll just tape every damn thing. And so they have to have this giant writers meeting, which is crazy because storylines can change by the week. But because of this situation, this is the first time we can guarantee whatever storyline is going to happen is going to run unless somebody gets hurt during tapings. That's the only thing that'll change that.
Yeah. Well, how else? What's a recipe for getting hurt? Wrestling for 8 to 12 hours a day. That's certainly a recipe for getting hurt. You're messing with the statistics here. People are going to get hurt, or maybe,
wrestling day to day back.
It's a damn miracle. But now it's
wrestling
not
night to night, back to back. No,
yeah, but I'm saying
it shouldn't.
Saying, no,
I don't. You know what? I actually agree on this movie.
The results are going to leak. It's not going to be, a fun.
No,
situation.
I think this situation. No, I think this situation. I think
to leak.
I think the fact that yes, the main event, whichever one it is, whether it's Roman Goldberg or Brock Drew, has been taped. I think Brock Drew is the main event for sure because I don't think you're not. I don't think you're getting a bigger pop out of Roman and Goldberg than you will from Drew winning the WWE title. And if they decide to screw Drew McIntyre and say Brock is keeping it, that would make me flip. I don't think this shit will leak because here's what's gonna happen. Let's say something leaks. Let's say tomorrow we start hearing certain little bits about matches, right? Yeah. What's going to happen? Either A, that is a purposely let out leak. The WWE decided to leak it, or B, they are going to call them back in and have them redo the match.
That's possible,
but it's going to be a very it'll be a very, very close set at that point.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? You'll have the referee, the two guys in the ring. And then you'll have the necessary production crew, which means you'll have maybe 2 or 3 cameras, somebody operating the hard cam, and the sound person. And all you need is Vince McMahon and one other person and Gorilla. That's it. You can run it very skeleton.
No, I know that. And you're absolutely right. They can run it very skeleton. But I also know that these wrestling writers are probably struggling for clicks on their sites because there hasn't been a lot to report on. And so if you get them to speculate we've heard the results, some wrestling writer or some wrestling website might break it. Maybe a smaller one who finds out. You never know.
We got this cover still exists for putting out bullshit nonstop day in and day out.
That proves
we
my
got
point.
This cover Cosmic News. Yeah, but the thing is, we can see through that. We've learned people who know in the world and who cover it know when stuff is not real. And I don't think anybody with a legitimate website is going to take a chance. Yeah, I understand people are looking for things with clicks, but also you still have AEW doing things. You have other things. I mean, the anticipation of what's going to happen. You're going to have the whole, this might be a spoiler for Raw. This might be a spoiler for SmackDown. Right. And remember, we're less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. So I don't think anything major can come out with them taping so many matches. Unless somebody is looking to see the WrestleMania backdrop that way, you don't know exactly what it is.
All right. We'll find out. That's for sure. Jay, thanks so much for chiming in, brother, man. Always good to see you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
That was J-Dog in there. I don't know if I want to bring this person in. They've been waiting to come on. Maybe they just clicked themselves off, actually, so we don't have to bring him in. But maybe if he comes back on, we'll bring him in. He had a question for us, and we'll get to him in just a second. He probably had to jump off to put some more, some more gel in his hair. Who am I to talk, though? That's for sure.
I know he's been in the chat talking about, let me get in here and talk some shit real quick. And I was like, all right, come on, man.
All right. As soon as he comes back up, I promise I'll put him back in. Go ahead. What's up?
I was just going to ask, because like I said, I don't really watch wrestling as much anymore. Can y'all explain to me what this 6-pack challenge is? Are they really trying to pound a 6-pack of beer, or what the fuck is this?
I don't know. The coronavirus challenge. I just saw a guy lick the toilet seat of a
No. Wrestling.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying I'm still wrapping my brain around. Yeah.
Jay. 6-pack challenge basically 6 women in the match. It's 6 women.
Well, then why they call it a six-pack? Why did they just call it a 6-woman match? I don't know.
There's a name for it. So you have a triple threat match. You have a fatal 4-way.
Right.
A 5-way is just called a scramble. And you have a 6-pack challenge.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well.
All right. I guess I accept it. All right. He's back in here. Let's see if I can get him in to the stream. And then we'll get to this question about Jameis or Cam. Who do you think is most likely to start for an NFL team in 2020 in just a second? But first, let's put up. Oh shit! It's the Bandit, Van Goddard up in here. Oh no!
Look at All right, no gentleman there. Look at this crazy.
He's got to ration it out, man. We don't know how long we're gonna be trapped in our houses.
Right? I need to be doing my hair for you, motherfuckers. No,
put it on the wish list.
I know we're. Well, yeah, put it on the wish list, guys. Vallarta, those $3 those gallons of gel lasted me like 3 years, man. That's the way to go. But no, I just wanted to touch on. I know you guys moved a little bit past it, but just about Kawhi and Pop and Zaza and all. One, Zaza's the dirtiest fucking player. Even his own teammates on the Warriors would say that because David West played with him, and David West was on the Mavericks and hated Zaza and almost tried to fight him. But no, I don't know if Kawhi would have stayed without the injury, but I don't want to hear this mess about Pop doesn't know how to treat star players. He had the biggest star, maybe besides Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan, on the best player on the planet.
I'm not saying he doesn't know how to treat them, and it's saying he makes them realize it's not about you, it's about the team, and I'm the coach.
I would even make the argument is go ahead, John. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and some players don't like that. Some players want to be the alpha dog. Even Kawhi, who's one of the most subtle, passive-aggressive alpha dogs you'll ever meet, he still wanted to be the focus. The reason Tim Duncan worked and manager Ginobili.
No, his uncle wanted him to be the focus. And he didn't.
Well, fair. And Tony,
his
Parker,
uncle, like. You don't mix family with business, man. Like I don't want to blame a person that I've never met before, but I'm telling you, when he fired his agent, and granted, everything has worked out perfectly for Kawhi. He won a championship, he got the big contract, good for him.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, he would have won more championships with the Spurs under Pop. We had the max contract coming up where there's no state tax. He would have got like 200 something million. So I mean. Yes, I have no ill will against Kawhi. His communication process during that summer was a little shady for me. I mean, it's his life. He does what he wants. I'll never fault someone for getting their money. Go ahead, Winston.
2 things. I mean, first of all, if he had stayed down there, he would have been quarantined in the Alamo right now. Nobody wants that. That's the first thing.
Everybody in San Antonio wants to be quarantined in the Alamo, baby. That's the last stand right there.
That is the last thing you want because there are no respirators, there are no filters. Nobody wants that shit. Second of all, and I think that this is going to be true regardless. I agree with you. I do think that was more of his uncle than anything else, but just because a system works does not mean it works for everybody. And I think that is the big thing at the end of the day. I would not be surprised, honestly, and I don't necessarily think it's just Pop. I think that whole environment, it's very cultish with the Spurs, which works for them most of the time. They're sucking ass right now, but for the most time, that works for everybody.
Struggling, man. We are struggling.
I think that's the problem. I think Kawhi's like, I don't subscribe to what's going on here. Like for some people, that makes them happy, but I just don't think that was necessary. He was drafted into that situation.
I agree. It's not. He wasn't drafted. We traded for him. The Pacers drafted him.
But you know what I mean, though. He didn't do it off of a free agency type situation.
But just Pop kind of invented the rest thing. Like he rested Manu and Tim and Tony when in our last championship run against the Heat. And Pop's been called out about that. So to say that he didn't fit into that culture just seems kind of weird because we literally that run. The first time we lost against the Heat, we shouldn't have lost. LeBron got saved by Ray Allen. But the second year, we rested everybody, and we formed that team around Kawhi. And there's that famous thing where, Pop is, punching Kawhi, you need to shoot more. You need to shoot more. Get the ball. This is your team now. And even Tim said that, like he won the MVP that year. Tim said that, I'm leaving either one more year or this year, and this is your team now. So we were ready to form, we were ready to become the Lakers of the early 2000s and form this team around him. But hey, again, it's his choice, his money. It's worked out great for him. So nothing but love for Kawhi. But I'm saying Pop did everything he could. He flew to New York. He flew to LA. he was trying his damnedest to keep this guy on his team. It was just like miscommunication with the trainers, if he was healed or not. It was just a bad situation.
Look, he even turned off the AC in game 1 of the finals. So he did everything possible to make sure.
Absolutely. We did everything.
Dirty move. Dirty move.
Hey, you know what? If 40-year-old Tim Duncan can still get a triple-double that game, LeBron's ass can drink some Gatorade and eat a banana.
It's fair because I wanted to say like, well, it's hot down there. I'm like, wait, no, he played in Miami. It was hot in Miami for 3 years.
But I'll be real with you. That's not even the biggest offense. The biggest offense is when Paul Pierce's ass acted like someone had beat him with a fucking tire iron, and they took his ass out to the back, and then in a wheelchair screaming bloody murder. They came back to about, let's go, and I swear to this day, because someone has to slow down the footage. This motherfucker shit himself. And he needed to go back.
I think he admitted it.
So he did. I forgot he did on.
He admitted it. Yeah.
He shit himself. So they had to wheel him back as fast as possible. He tried to scream so no one could see him doing that. But the fucked up part was he played with everyone's emotions. That building lost its mind when he came back.
Just imagine how bad that wheelchair smelled after getting wheeled out of there. Just like, oh my God, just the worst.
Yeah.
I'll leave on that note, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for popping in, man. Always good to see Ben Gunn. Always good to see the Bandit. He is a fun conversation all the time, certainly on the channel. All right. I don't see any Streamlabs or any super chats in right now that we need to take care of. So let's jump into this next question about Jameis Winston and Cam Newton. Guys, this is coming out now from a number of publications about both Jameis and Cam. They couldn't trade Cam, so they're going to release Cam just straight up. They couldn't trade, and Jameis is pretty much gone now that they signed Tom Brady. So and a lot of places are saying that they don't think that they're going to sign or that Cam or Jameis are going to start a game in 2020. You look at the teams that have already filled their quarterback slots: the Buccaneers, the Panthers, the Titans, the Colts, the Raiders, the Bears, the Cowboys, and the Saints are all set now. And all their quarterbacks are starting at over $20 million per year.
What about
of the remaining 15, 10 have already solidified their franchise quarterbacks or have rookie contracts: Redskins, Arizona, Ravens, the Bills, the Browns, the Broncos, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Giants, and the Jets. So only 3 of the remaining 5 are widely expected to take quarterbacks in the first round, and that's the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Dolphins. So the only thing left are the Patriots and the Jaguars. So do you see Jameis or Cam going to either one of those 2 remaining teams and starting for those organizations?
Okay, so
silence is good. Silence is good.
Okay, so no, and I think you got 2 reasons why. I don't think you get anybody to the Patriots. Okay. The reason why is the Belichick way. I don't think Jameis is too much of a wild card. Belichick don't really play that shit. And then Cam, I think with the health issues, I think at this particular juncture, Belichick is not going to buy into a potential health risk. So I think that both of those guys aren't necessarily viable. I just think that it's interesting. I mean, they both have been struggling. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people that got handed jobs that before the 2 of them, and that shit's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's a negative thing to look at. I think that's actually a good analysis and a legitimate thing to say. Zeno Hour countered. He goes, the Jags have Gardner Minshew. Yeah, and what's your point? There's no way Gardner Minshew is better at this point in terms of ability than Cam Newton or Jameis Winston, especially if that Jameis, like Charlie Sheen in Major League, maybe he's even a better player now if he's corrected that. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, that is one of the major issues. If that eye surgery has fixed Jameis Winston's vision completely where it does not affect his game is the way we were believing now after hearing all this, absolutely. The fact that neither one of them potentially starts, that is a true thing when you look around. Yeah. I don't think unless the Jags just want to say, let's go for it and see what happens. But overall, I do not see when you break everything down, when you break all the teams, I don't, and you see what's in the draft as well. When you have a Burrows, when you have a Justin Herbert, when you have a Tua, when you have all these different quarterbacks potentially set to come out who more than likely can start, I don't see them starting unless they get picked up as a backup, they accept the role, and then that initial starter goes down.
Yeah. I mean, the idea also is the Nick Foles situation, right, in Jacksonville. Are they paying Nick Foles part of his salary to go to the Bears? Is that what the deal was?
More than likely. I don't think the Bears would have ate all that contract. I don't think the Bears were going to eat all that up.
Okay.
I don't believe, knowing the way how selfish and stingy, for lack of better words, the Bears front office is. Look at the players we get. I mean, we got Khalil Mack for little or nothing. To nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they would not be taking that whole contract on. They'll take, look, we're gonna pay out some of it. You guys gotta take the other half. You guys gotta eat the other half.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, real quick. I just looking at the chat here, clearly I have a baby bit of an ego because I'm like, everybody's like, oh, Winston of the Dolphins, Winston of the Patriots. I'm like, I'm not playing for none of these teams. I mean, that's flattering that y'all think that I could, but I'm like, the fuck what am I gonna do? I ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna throw nothing but intercept. I'm gonna get sacked every play. Like, don't send me nowhere. I'll take that NFL salary though. Shit, I need it.
No doubt. Well, what happened was the Foles he's going to be paid $18.75. Well, I mean, the Jaguars will have to absorb $18.75 million in dead money in 2020. And the Bears have already restructured Foles' contract. He has 3 years and $21 million guaranteed left on the deal. So that's what the Bears are on the hook for. So that's an interesting decision when you got Trubisky sitting up there. Because isn't Trubisky trying to get paid himself, man?
Trubisky's but some trying to get that money.
You know what? Again, I blame all of this. I will say this to the day I die. I blame all of this on Joe Flacco.
Wow. Oh yeah, right. Getting that contract. Yeah, I mean,
getting that contract.
Look, it's a capitalist market. He saw there was an opportunity, was timing. Look at how many of those NBA big men got paid up the yin yang during that period of time. Who am I? Nazir Muhammad got paid for standing around for 3 points a game and 2 rebounds, $118 million. It was nuts.
What about Tristan Thompson's ass?
Yeah. Oh, Tristan Thompson made it. He robbed the church's money. He stole from the church.
Oh, he stole from both mega churches, the mega church of the Cavaliers and the mega church of the Kardashians. My brother was in there getting it all.
My brothers and sisters, Reverend Thompson needs you to put to the donation plate. And by donation plate, I mean my bank account. You want to have me around. You need a tall black man that can hold the rock. Listen to me, Lord.
Dean Morgan says Foles. Drinking Hand says Cam is a bum. Period. What? I don't think Cam Newton's a bum. What are you talking about? Cam is a good player. He's just, he was in a situation. Carolina did the best, took him to a Super Bowl. So it was all there for him. But maybe he just needs to be in a better situation. Look, I know everyone's loving Ron Rivera in DC for my Skins. Look, I like that Ron is there. My dad is coaching the Redskins. I respect that. But overall, I don't think this guy is necessarily a great quarterback. Do you know what I'm saying for this situation? So is he going to get it done? I don't know. So you look at Ron Rivera. Was it the issue Cam or was the issue Ron Rivera's coaching? I think we're going to find out.
I know what the issue was. The issue was Cam Newton coming into every post-game conference dressed like Mary J. Blige in the Not Gonna Cry videos. So, like, that is really an issue.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Break it, y'all.
I see everyone doing this. Oh, yeah.
What?
Break it. What up?
Breaking news. The Cowboys offensive lineman, Travis Frederick, has announced he's retiring at the age of 29. This is via Adam Schefter. Travis is done.
How is this? Is this big news? This is big news?
Yeah. I mean, he's one of our major linemen that's been out here. Okay. Like he's one of the captains of the team. He's our center. He's our starting center. He's been killing it for a long time. That could genuinely fuck us because of the whole thing that everybody was talking about, how you had this wall in the Cowboys offensive line. In the last couple of years, it's been a little shaky because we lost a player here or there. To lose who is essentially the captain of this line is massive.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, man, listen, y'all, I don't know why people are getting surprised, though, that players are retiring.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's been happening.
It's been happening a lot. Players are they're getting in. Do they a couple of years in so they can be eligible for? They do enough years that they're eligible for the retirement plan. Make their money is still in the league. Then say I'm done, whether they win a chip or not. Again, we're talking about, we go back to the discussions you and I have had, Winston, about the CTE and how older players may already be suffering from it and don't understand it. These younger players are like, listen, if I can do enough real quick and not put any real harm on my body, I can go into something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And when you make your money, you can just invest it and actually just sit back on it if you wanted to. If you're smart about how to do the money, you can do all of that. All right. So what do you guys think at the end of the day? Who starts? Who do you see starting for an NFL team? Is it Jameis down there in Miami? Is it possibly Cam in Jacksonville? Where do you see them landing?
I would see more Cam in Jacksonville more than anything else. Okay. Before I see Jameis in Miami, I would see Cam in Jacksonville. I think the Khans would go ahead and give him that money because, again, it would put more eyes on the product. Mm-hmm. You know, like the Jacksonville Jags, they have some eyes on them, and they got a little bit of eyes when they had Foles. But if you bring Cam Newton down there now, it's a big deal for you. Yeah. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. What do you think, Winston?
Sorry, I'm still reading about the Travis Frederick thing. I got to focus. I got to come back. I was very upset.
Yeah. The story will be there after the show.
I know.
Who do you think starts, Jameis or Cam?
Between the two, I'd go with Cam. I think from the simple standpoint that if he can prove that he's healthy, I have more faith in a healthy Cam Newton than I ever have in a healthy Jameis Winston. Jameis is boom or bust, and Cam actually can do some work. I think part of the problem is you didn't really give Cam anything other than Christian McCaffrey. And so in the last couple of years, because Kelvin Benjamin gained 7,000 pounds and couldn't run anymore. Yeah. And then who was the next number one receiver up there? Jake Funches.
Funches. Yeah, Devin Funches.
He didn't come up to stuff either. So it literally had to go through CMC and Olsen. So at a certain point, he's going to keep taking those shots. So I have more faith in him if you put him in a solid system than Jameis. Jameis scares me. And not in a fun way.
Okay. Right, exactly. All right, let's move on to our next subject, and that's the NBA. This story came on ESPN a couple of days ago. Full salaries due on April 1st to the players, but they left open the possibility of recouping future salaries for canceled games on April 15th, according to a league memo that was shared with teams on Friday, giving itself some financial room flexibility based on the force majeure provision in the CBA, which allows them to 92.6% of a player's seasonal salary per canceled game based upon catastrophic circumstances and pandemics. And for this to go into effect, they had to have played at least 5 preseason games and 82 regular season games and 5.5 playoff games. So this will be the situation that they're exploring going forward. So people like LeBron, people like other people are going to be possibly losing money now. A lot of people initially were like, there's no way the NBA does this to kind of, mess with the players and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, this is a league that has to remain financially viable. It's kind of weird for me to see how many organizations in essence feel like they live paycheck to paycheck. It's driving me insane that they can't survive 1 or 2 months of a work stoppage. That's so weird to me.
You have to remember, everybody is season ticket holders. Number one,
right?
A lot of that money comes from the merchandise sold in the stadiums, concessions, also the outlet markets where people are buying jerseys and things like that. Nobody can buy these things right now in abundance because nobody's buying a jersey. I'm not buying a LeBron jersey if I can't go to a game right now. Yeah. I don't need to just have a jersey to have it. So the NBA is at a standstill now. People, I get what you're saying. We forget that these are billion-dollar organizations. Yes, they are, but at the same time, they are still companies. And I know how people feel about they're a company, they should be okay. There are still employees within the NBA league offices we forget about. We don't hear about everybody else. We hear about what's in the team offices. We hear about Roger Goodell, but we don't understand that this is a major organization that has a major staff that still has to run. There are things they are beholden to and things like that. So there are commissions and the dues that have to be paid by owners and whatnot. So there is so much behind this. And so, when you have something that's rolling, think about it. Once the NBA season starts, it's rolling. It's going. It's a money generator. And then anything that is generating money, granted, when you have something in there, once you put it at a standstill, it kind of slows things down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think there, Winston?
I mean, I think that, like a lot of stuff, there's one, I just happened to rewatch, and if nobody has seen it before, they definitely need to go watch the ESPN 30 for 30 called Broke.
Man.
It touches on the fact that, yes, should a lot of these players be better with their money? Of course. But when you throw in all the different mitigating factors, including people out of the woodwork coming to look for your money. To me, I appreciated what Zion did for the people of that stadium. I hated it because it should be on the owners to do that. It should not be on the kid that just got paid money to be paying everybody's salary for a month. Yeah. That's completely inappropriate in my opinion. So yes, the players should do better about that, but I don't think about the LeBrons. Right. And, oh my God, LeBron's not making money. I'm thinking about the 15th guy on the team that barely made it, that is maybe making $500K for the year, which is better than all the rest of us. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But at the same time, it's the same thing for them. It is paycheck to paycheck, and they have set up their life with certain expenses. You would hope they would do better, but remember, the majority of these people aren't coming from upper class families with super crazy educations. They were athletes that were applauded for their athletic abilities, so maybe they don't have the financial, education to not put themselves in this. I appreciate the NBA PA is doing a lot better about that. The NFL PA does not, but that training is not there, so it is bad. I really do think that it is, but I genuinely am way more concerned about everybody that is not a player. The players, that's on you, man. I'm worried about Shannon, who works, the concession stand, who that was job number 2 that kept her family together.
Earl,
that's fucked.
Earl, who's been a janitor for 35 years, and this is all he has. Think about it. If there's nothing going on in the facility, if you cleaned it the last time, nothing has changed.
Right. Yeah. That's a fair point. Yeah, so hopefully at some point they'll do that, and I mean, we'll see how this all plays out, because already you hear rumblings, and we're not going to get too political. This is a sports show, but you already hear the rumblings going on from some people on the right and from people in the administration that they're starting to look at easing these restrictions off and opening the doors again to these possible businesses to maybe bring the sports back, bring other stuff back, because people need a distraction. And of course, he's doing it to also affect his reelection, and I get that, but all by the same token, this could all be a situation where there's feeling this pressure for people to want to come back and resume life and take their chances. I think it's dangerous, but you do see this possibility happening, and maybe the owners go, well, if it doesn't happen, we're taking precautions just in case to save our money and keep the league alive, let alone, the players or the team. We want to keep the league alive overall.
People know how I feel about the orange Muppet in office right now, and I know this is everything that is spewed out of his mouth has been a financial gain obligation thing to say. It is literally affected the stock market. And yes, to say we're going to reopen sporting events and stuff like that is to literally say it's the dumbest way to say we're going to jumpstart the economy. Because that's what it does. If you open up sports arenas, the first people now are going to go flock and buy tickets just to get out. They're going to flock and buy tickets. Listen, you thought people already were going to beaches. That is nothing. People who go to beaches and stuff like that, that is nothing compared to the amount of people that are going to run and gather to go to sporting stadiums. That is going to happen. And I know we all is like, yo, that is not a good thing. But also you have to remember, people inherently are selfish. And that's what we've been seeing a lot of.
And so people like being told what to do.
And they don't like being told what to do. They are also naturally rebellious. So now you tell people I can go out. Oh, you're saying I can't go out, but I shouldn't go out? Guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out.
Yeah, it's true. We see it all over the place now. I took a walk in El Segundo yesterday for an hour, and we did see people out on those beaches congregating in groups going into the beach. And I couldn't believe it. Like, we were just walking and keeping our distance. We'd cross the street or go around cars. So we keep that 6 feet of distance. But then you'd look at the beach and you saw like 10, 12, 15, 20 people huddled around each other with their beach. So, that's the thing at the end of the day is, are people going to fight back and want to, out of protest, go to these things? You look at college football, one game is 100,000 people in Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State. So that's way more than what you see at the beach. At one beach. So it's certainly possible, Jay. I hear what you're saying.
And that's another thing. People forget about the college sports. Let them start college football up. Let them start it up.
But they can't until the schools come back. All the schools are shut.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Let them find a way.
That's part of the package. Yeah.
It's a package. I get it. But let them find a way to start emailing players on the low like, hey, man, you feel like coming to do a little quick drills in this undisclosed facility? And you're going to have some players who are just as much as regular people. Again, some people, this quarantine, I understand when we all talk about this quarantine, it's the reason we're doing this like this right now. Because we've chosen to self-quarantine and to self-isolate. That's a thing that it is. It's not mandated to quarantine. It's not mandated to isolate. It is self-done. Well, there are some people who have done that, and now they hit a breaking point. I know there are people who are like, yo, I'm used to doing this, but there are people who are not. And that is a hard thing to have people to try to adjust to. I understand the consequences of not doing it, but you got to remember when somebody has lived 20, 30, maybe even 40, 50 years of their life, consistently being able to do what they do, come and go when they want to all of a sudden being told you can't, that is a major shock to the system. And people don't understand how that affects people. So if the NBA says, listen, we're going to start running these games, people are going to go.
Yeah, true. And I want to say something to the people in the chat who are kind of pushing back a little bit. Yes, of course. But they're saying like, regular people are being affected too. Of course. What I'm talking about though, this is a sports show. So we're addressing these sports issues as they are. We're not going to discount them just because these gentlemen or these ladies have become incredible in their chosen field and have been compensated for their talent and for their hard work. That doesn't take away the fact that you yourself work your job that you do, and you're being compensated at the level that you're being compensated at. It's all perspective and relative in the situation. Just because they make $1 million doesn't mean you shouldn't feel sorry for them. They could still be risking their lives. And are you getting heckled when you walk out at your job? Are you getting heckled for 3 hours and called the worst names in the world when you walk out to go and work at your job? No, you're not. And that's the difference there. Yes, you can look at one way, they're making millions of dollars, boo hoo hoo. But on the other side of things, you don't endure the shit that they endure on a daily basis. Look, Jay Winston and I have just a small amount of that piece of little bit of pseudo, not being known, or a little bit of celebrity within the Schmodown, and we endure what we endure. So you can't imagine being a worldwide celebrity, especially an athlete who is constantly being questioned game to game if they can do it or not. I saw all the people ripping Cam Newton recently in the chat just a couple of seconds ago or a few minutes ago, calling him a joke and saying that he choked all the time, didn't give his heart, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, see, so this is what you have to endure as an athlete. So yes, they are millionaires. I get it, but they're still human damn beings. So,
and also people have to remember, I hate when people say this thing too. Well, if you did want to be criticized and ridiculed, you shouldn't have put yourself in that field. That is not the truth, because everybody in every field goes through some level of ridicule. There are grocery store workers going through it right now. Your garbage man goes through it. So it's not just actors, comedians, hosts, sports athletes and stuff like that. Everybody, no matter what they do, goes through that. And just because we chose our career does not mean we're automatically supposed to say, oh, yeah, it comes with it. No. And so, like you said, you cannot discount these people because of what their professions are.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right, let's move on to some more coronavirus news, and that's the Olympics. And we're answering the super chat from earlier from Mara. This guy, Dick Pound, who is a Canadian representative for the international. Look, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to let you do this. The International Olympic Committee. He told USA Today Sports.
The person in charge of the Olympics is named Dick Pound?
No, he's not. He's in charge of the Canadian. He's one of these members of the committee from Canada. On Monday afternoon, he said that he felt that the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games are going to be postponed, likely to 2021. And he said this is on the basis of the information the IOC has. Postponement has been decided. He said the parameters going forward have not been determined, but the games are going to start on July 24th. That much I know. What's the guy's name? Thomas Bach, who is the actual president of the IOC, when he was questioned about it, he said it's the right of every IOC member to interpret the decision of the IOC executive board as they see fit. They said their athletes. Australia said they weren't going to send their athletes. Then Germany this morning said that they joined Brazil and Norway and other countries urging the IOC to postpone the Olympics. All right. So once you guys stop laughing. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Come on. Though they have been canceled previously during periods of war, the 1916 Summer Games during World War I, and the Winter and Summer Games in 40 and 44 due to World War II. And, of course, there were boycotts in 76, 80, and 84. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is the right thing to do to just push these Olympics another year, Winston?
I think that Dick Pound's parents are responsible for naming his child. But all right, it's out of my system. But real talk, I think that you have to postpone. I think what I'm most interested in is, because I was talking to my girlfriend about this, is that are the Olympics forever shifted now a year? So instead of being on every four, so like 2020, 2024, 2028, is it now 2021, 2025? Does that shift the Winter Games? Like, on top of the fact that what I think I feel the most concerned about, and they need to postpone it, honestly, is I feel bad for a lot of these Olympic athletes. There is a very small window, especially gymnasts, where you have 1 to 2 Olympics to do your thing, and that's it. And so as shitty as this is, you have to postpone it, especially because Japan is one of the few countries that has handled like coronavirus well. God help you if you all of a sudden take, with an aging population that is Japan, if you take all of that risk of the rest of the world coming the fuck in, oh my God. So you have to, unfortunately, you have to stop it. You have to postpone.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
going to go ahead and let Jay laugh about Dick Pound. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think you have to postpone. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, shit.
With a name like Dick Pound, he could have either been a representative for that article or a porn star. Like, can you imagine the sales? Like, get the new video, ladies, featuring Dick Pound.
That's how bad things are right now.
Yo, you realize we can hear you?
I don't think. Yeah, Winston, your mic is on. Oh my God. Anyway,
yeah. Also, with a name like that, every time he says his name, he has to say it with a pause. They'd be like, "How you doing? I'm Jimmy." He was like, "Hey, I'm Dick Pound." Dick, yeah, I know it's Dick Pound.
Why?
Like he got to lower his head.
That I would say. I would say it with pride. I wouldn't hide my name.
Just get randomly like
Dick Pound.
Dick Pound. So here's the thing. But as far as the Olympics, only a 40-something, only an older man can say it with pride, though. At some point, you older, you're like, yeah, ladies, Dick Pound is in the building.
Oh my God, you guys are the worst.
Wait, but so here's so I mean, can you imagine him being at a party where he had those name tags on it that says "Hello, my name is," and it just says Dick Pound on it, and some random person who don't know will be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Anyway, okay, seriously. Oh, Jesus.
Be deep.
Oh my God. So anyway, we just pounded. It's still, what's up? I'm D Pound. What's D? D Pound. Anyway, so they should definitely postpone the Olympics. I think because, again, Japan having that large of a population in that small of a space, especially in Tokyo, runs the ultimate risk of it. Now, we're not saying, this is not guaranteeing that all of the Olympians, coaching staff, and whatever. So this is not saying all Olympians, coaching staff, and officials, whatnot, are potentially positive, because here's this has been the thing throughout all this. It's the assumption that people people have the virus, and again, it may be 100 Olympians go, 100 athletes, and 200 more coaching staff and managers and whatever go, and then 100 representatives, and all of them are completely clear and asymptomatic. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
However, there could be one person in Japan who just somehow, some way contracts it. You see what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, it affects the Olympians. And it's so many different scenarios. But again, also going to Winston's point of, do you move the dates? I think you just push this one a year back and continue on the schedule. This one has You have to have this one 2021, and the next one is 2024, no matter what. We just stretch them out naturally by over time and just say, 4 years. The average Olympian doesn't need the trials happen the 6 months before the games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all they need to do is do their normal training in their regular time. It's the 6 months before the actual games when we decide who are our Olympians. So yeah, you keep it on schedule. You don't change it, because if you decide to say, well, if it's 2021, now we got to move up to 2015, you just messed up so much down the line. You keep it as it is.
Okay. All right. I agree too. I think you have to postpone it. I think all the countries coming out and putting pressure on him, putting pressure on Thomas Bach, who is the guy in charge of the IOC, putting pressure on him to move it. I think that's the thing at the end of the day. If athletes now don't want to go because they're going to get this virus, or they're feared they're going to get this virus, you got to postpone this thing a year and see what happens. And unfortunately, you have to postpone it a year because you can't be pushing down the road, because then you could talk about a completely waterlogged sports calendar going into the fall. It wouldn't make any sense at all to do the Olympics at the same time. I know the Winter Olympics do occur at the same time, but this is the summer, so it's completely different. And I think you have to push it a year. And yes, you do keep the schedule, though. You don't push everything back another after that. You just kind of cut short the training situation. And that's how it goes, man. Unfortunately, some people in the world, some people get squeezed in that situation or squeezed out of their opportunities, and maybe that will happen down the road for the other Olympic athletes. But I think you do push it because, I mean, there's too many lawsuits. There's too many issues that could happen. There's too many problems that could go down with this situation overall with the Olympics. And I personally think they just have to do it. It's just time. And we'll see. Mm-hmm. All right. That's we don't have any Streamlabs or super chat. So one last thing, and we'll get on out of here. And that is, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Nick Heath, this guy who is a he's a freelance rugby commentator on Twitter. He's been narrating these like regular people doing regular things in their lives as if they are sporting events. And this has been sweeping the internet. The New York Times covered it as well. Me personally, as someone who eventually wants to end up calling games, this is brilliant to enjoy and watch. If you haven't watched this kind of stuff, you can go to his Twitter account and see it. I don't think I'm allowed to play any of it. I don't think, because of the rights issues. I don't know what the rights issues are like this, but this is so incredibly funny. Did you guys get a chance to watch any of these or look at any of these?
I didn't get to see him. The only thing that I got to do is the photo of him. He's the most unassuming dude. He is the biggest goober I have ever seen, which makes it even funnier. I cannot wait to hear what his voice actually sounds like. That's brilliant, man. I mean, it's what you got to do. You got to find. I think it's one of the things that you've seen a lot of people in the creative sphere or this kind of sphere. They're getting creative with it. I mean, you see like Fox Sports 1 and ESPN, they're all live streaming from home and like making jokes about it. Instead of not just that, but like instead of around the horn, it's around the home. They literally have changed it. They're doing their own thing of Streamlabs, and they took the logo and they put a sticky note and it says home on it. Like they're genuinely finding ways to do their shows. You got to do the
I'm waiting on ESPN. I'm waiting on ESPN to just start airing Baby Boy at this point. Like, listen, this is how we got to fill in. All of a sudden, it's Tyrese on the screen.
That's Mr. Nick Heath there. That's the gentleman that has been doing this. That's who Winston called a pretty chill looking guy. That's what I would say.
A little goober.
But he's the one that's doing these things.
Which, by the way, please look at Ben Goddard's message and put it on the screen, because that is probably the funniest shit. That is very accurate about Mr. Pound.
It's probably Richard Pound. He chose that Dick Pound life respect. It is a total power move.
It's a power move,
I agree.
Bro. That's big Dick Pound energy right there.
Yeah, that's right. That's Dick Pound energy. If he is always DPE,
I got that DPE, baby. Got that Dick Pound energy.
I mean, if he is the representative for Canada on the International Olympic Committee, my man has accomplished things in life. So you got to give him some respect.
I would like to talk to everyone here at Committee A. Who are you? I'm Dick Pound, A, representative of Canada. Now listen.
Is that Dick Pound?
Dick Pound.
Why did you make Dick Pound sound like such a nerd? At least make him sound like Drake or some shit. Jesus.
Yo, what's happening? I'm Dick Pound out here trying to get all these Canadians together for the Olympics and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You got to throw an A in there.
I was going to throw the A. You let me finish the A.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Dick Pound in the house, eh?
Dick Pound in the house.
Dick Pound for you, baby.
There it is, right up in the face.
Oh my god!
I don't think I could bring it over. I was hoping I could bring it over, but it doesn't look like I can. But yeah, I think Nikita is doing an incredible job with this stuff and making everybody laugh and making everybody kind of take their minds off. I think what you said is absolutely correct. Winston, yeah, you need people that are just going to understand what's happening and be okay with it and enjoy the.
Do you understand that's where the Black Bane Chronicles came from? Shit, me being bored.
Nope.
The Black Bane Chronicles. Have you not been following?
Right. That's true.
You haven't been following me on Instagram with the Black Bane Chronicles, man.
It's very good stuff, dude. You do a great job with that voice, no doubt. I can't deny it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it for the people.
Did you ever see the one where they're like, where Bane is telling you what he had for breakfast? He's like, I had strawberries, and I enjoyed the strawberries for breakfast. I don't know. I can't do the voice.
Why do you need to put a hand over your mouth? You sound like you're being suffocated. Something wrong.
That's what he sounds like in the movie.
We got to help you get back to the people.
But anyway, that's what's going on there. I thought we'd end in a nice, happier note for this guy. Go and follow this guy on Twitter at Nick Heath. Go and enjoy it and listen to him. He's got two dogs chasing each other in the park, two dudes playing soccer with each other in the park, and they're absolutely terrible kicking the ball back and forth to each other. It's really funny. He even narrates these people walking across a crosswalk fast like it's a race. Brilliant stuff. And also two dudes these ladies who are bargaining for fruit at the market. It's brilliant. I don't know what that means. The Hawks. All
right. Yeah, he's trying to rep the Blackhawks, but nobody cares.
Okay. PC says PC likes my shirt, and so I wanted to show what the shirt was. There's a company called Relish Brand. It's in Chicago, and they were graciously gave me relish. Like Chicago style relish, and so they make
Chicago style relish.
Hey, bro, you ain't never had a Chicago hot dog, bro. Calm yourself down.
Nope. Hit him with the Janet Jackson. Ben. Hit him with the Janet Jackson.
Ben, no, Ben. No, Ben. No.
Dick, if you're nasty. And so, thank you, Jake, so much for that. Thank you so much. Okay, delete that, my bad. But no, so they do all different Chicago themes, but they do it with like pop culture references. So this one they did the Misfits logo, but they made it for the Blackhawks. I have one that says Chicago style with a picture of the lion in front of the Art Institute of Chicago. And there's so many other Chicago-based things some people outside of the city won't get, but I always want to support them. So I tell people to go check out relishbrand.com and tell them that I sent you there.
There you go. That's good. I like that. I appreciate that. All right. Well, let's wrap it up there, guys. It's almost 2 hours. I appreciate you all taking the time to sit in with me and have this conversation about sports. The time always flies when I'm talking sports with you guys. So I love the fact that y'all come on, and even more so when the fans come on and ask us questions or ask us stuff from the Streamlabs or Super Chat. Really appreciate all of you taking the time to join us this afternoon. Please, gentlemen, tell the people where they can find everything that you're doing. Please, Jay.
You already see it there at Mr. J Washington. That's Twitter, Instagram. Join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon. Check out the Mad Titan podcast where I get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. Blurs in the Hood. We do it live. Me and Winston A. Marshall live every Tuesday. We figured out if we're going to go 1 or 2 o'clock. It'd probably be 2. Because this way I can make sure I got everything put in. Because I'm trying to get everything together. I'm doing the production in, and he's gonna get the stories. So I'm trying to get everything technical together. So it'll probably be 2. Please check out that. And also, man, we'll have our Streamlabs going. We'll be doing things through StreamYard, so you all can be more interactive with the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Blurs in the Hood. We got our actual URL, baby. BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD. We got an actual channel name. Like, it ain't Blurs in the Hood / like lower C, capital Z, E3715Y, J, capital S. So it's really Blurs in the Hood. So yeah, that's it for me.
I mean, he covered most of it at the Swaggy Blurred THDS, WHGYBLERD, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Letterboxd, TikTok now, I guess. I don't fucking know. The patreon.com/swaggyblurred. I try and keep it simple. If you want to find me, just look that name up and I'm probably there. But yes, thank you to everybody that's watching it. Thank you for helping us get a URL. And John, thanks for having us, man.
Thank you guys, please. Honestly, I think I can play it now. I'll probably get in trouble, but screw it.
Regional qualifiers for market bartering here in Tooting Market. Ahansa Shah here in the blue headscarf and beige coat. She's regular in these parts. Classic technique of hanging behind a keener shopper here. She's already told the trader she's willing to walk away, and it looks like she might have got what she wants. Oh, she's even taking the shopping of the woman next to her. Well, that's the pro. That's what we're used to seeing. Her price is final. It's a few chili peppers and some tomatoes. The order we've come to know and love. Top job. Regional.
Sorry, there you go. That's the stuff he's doing there. Nick Heath, very funny stuff. Go and follow him at Nick Heath. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing that because I'm promoting it, not judging it, criticizing it. So there you go. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure you do that, and make sure you subscribe to my Patreon, www.patreon.com/John Rocha. I just had a conversation with John Mariano and Wiley Todd before we started this thing. A lot of stuff coming down the pike for that Patreon. A lot more on the Discord, a lot more rewatch, going to some hangs, going to have some one-on-ones as well with people, talking to them about whatever's going on in their worlds, and also giving some guidance on voiceover, getting some guidance maybe on starting a YouTube channel or whatever you want to do in this world of getting into film criticism. So I'm going to make my schedule way more available to the Patreon people so that we can have a little more one-on-ones, a little more contact with them. We'll have some hangs as well. All that down the pike going forward. And that's, oh yeah, please hit subscribe to this channel. I want to get to 20,000, all this work to make it happen. Love all y'all for joining. And then please give some love to Jay and Winston as well. Always appreciate these guys stopping by. And we will talk to you next time for another brand new episode of Game Time.